you. I'm gonna send you something special.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's the Rewind. We're back, baby. It's been a couple weeks, but myself and RN are here to talk about the latest weeks in professional wrestling, both in and outside the ring. We're your hosts. My name's Cal Tyson.
And I am the official brains of the fucking Smacked Raw podcast.
I forgot about that shit until I was
defending.
Fuck.
Not till 2024, but reigning might defend.
Fuck, man. I forgot about that till I was doing my shtick, and I was like, fuck. Here it comes.
That's why I love you.
Here it comes, the wave. God damn it. Yeah, you beat me in trivia on botch spots.
Oh.
Yeah, it was 1 point, too.
Handily defeated.
Look, man, that episode don't count. Allison was handing out pity points. Man, she was just like...
Bro, no, yeah, to you, motherfucker. I was getting the hard.
I'm just saying, the integrity of the show, RN, was in
question was like Undertaker or Hulk Hogan or some shit. Fuck off. I was getting like, what's the circumference of the earth? How many miles away is the moon? I'm like, what? You just asked this motherfucker what's the first letter in the alphabet.
She did have some softballs in there.
Bro, I lost. I was down by like 3 points. I came back on your ass with the steals like always.
You know what it is she at first made the trivia like the first episode or two like super hard.
Right.
And we were like, Allison, you gotta let us like have a chance here. And now she's gone to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, where it's like the equivalent of playing along an episode of Sesame Street. For the most part, there are some good stuff in there. I like how easy
it is because some of the shit's so easy you like almost second guess yourself. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. No, man, and it catch you up. There was that moment. Dude had to. What was Triple H's real name? And because we had so many softballs, he just casually said Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and that was one of the funniest moments of the whole show. Yes. Dude. RN, it's been a minute since we've done the show. It's been like I think like 2.5 weeks, but it feels like a month, man. I sent you a list.
No, it's actually a little bit less because remember the last show we did, we ended up doing it on like a Thursday or something because this was when you first started your job.
It was exactly. I got a promotion in that time, and I've been freaking swamped at this new store. So the last show that we did was unfortunately right after Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt passed. Yeah. And then we were previewing what was WWE's show.
Payback, wasn't it?
I think we were previewing like Payback and shit. So, since we've done that episode, I sent you a little list of some feeders of everything that's like happened in major pro wrestling just here in the States. So here's a rundown of things that have occurred since our last episode of The Rewind. CM Punk was fired from AEW. Fired live on air, essentially live on air to his home crowd of Chicago. Tony Khan came out and said, "I fired your boy." All In, the largest pro wrestling event. Paid pro wrestling event to ever take place in Wembley Stadium. All Out, the ill-timed secondary pay-per-view, which followed like a week later. Yes. The last ever WWE Raw to take place under Vince McMahon and the McMahon regime. UFC and WWE have officially merged to create the new company, TKO. Eddie Kingston finally has won World Gold in Ring of Honor. That took place last night. That was actually an awesome show. We'll talk about that some. AEW Fight Forever announced DLC. You got Hook and Danhausen coming to DLC. Jade Cargill leaving AEW, apparently going to WWE, only a week after essentially praising AEW as being like the only place she ever wants to work. WWE is leaving Fox and heading over to USA apparently, and AEW is apparently heading to Max next year. We're gonna get it on HBO Max finally after like years of speculation.
Wait, that's confirmed?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Soft confirmation. Okay, I can't say with 100% certainty, but it's looking pretty solid. And then of course the big news today. Of course, with the UFC and WWE merge to make TKO under Endeavor, who originally bought out UFC's parent company, Zuffa, we knew there was going to be some mass releases on the horizon. A lot of the talk and speculation was around the corporate side of things, seeing as they both had departments that had employees handling the same job, kind of made it redundant. So we saw a lot of corporate jobs lost. However, today, almost like tradition,
Yep.
WWE did mass releases of talent as well. Amongst those released were some larger names like Dolph Ziggler, who's apparently been reported. I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but Dolph Ziggler's gone. Shelton Benjamin, Mustafa Ali, and Elias, along with some other names like Emma, Madcap Moss, Aaliyah, Top Dollar, Rick Boogs, Dabakato, Bryson Montana, Shanky, Massey, Mansoor, that kind of hurts a little bit. Quincy Miller, and then, Dana Brooke. Unfortunately, Dana Brooke's gone. And, yeah, man, it's been RN has been a busy couple weeks in pro wrestling, to say the least. Holy shit, man.
I think they're going to bring Dolph back, though.
I can't picture. Dolph is one of those guys that you think WWE would set him up with a job for life. Like,
I think that his... Because even Triple H has said that he's getting paid. Like, I think that Dolph was probably getting paid a lot more than what he should have for his position. I think that they'll probably bring him back at a different size. Kind of like on NFL where they kind of cut a player just to get his contract from up under, and then they re-sign him to a better contract that's better for the team. Like, I think that's going to happen. I could be wrong because I know his brother and everybody. And he's probably get on the indie scene or whatever.
Quite a coincidence. About a week ago, Ryan Nemeth on, I believe, Twitter posted a picture of him and Dolph holding all the AEW gold. Right. And that did spark some conversations, whether or not, Dolph was leaving or if it was just Ryan having some fun. It's nothing to be confirmed. On the rumor side of it being a release is that there was, I guess, reports that WWE was trying to push Dolph Ziggler into a producing role, a role which he did not want to do. He wanted to be an active talent and a competitor.
Oh, he's going to AEW then.
Yeah, exactly. So if that is what's to be believed, you would think that Dolph Ziggler is gonna test the waters outside of WWE. Obviously the first thought would be AEW. His brother Ryan Nemeth's there. They can follow create the Hollywood Hunks or something along those lines.
New Japan.
Exactly. Yeah, New Japan. Doesn't New Japan have like a cruiserweight tournament that's very popular? Like kind a junior. But not really.
It's like best of the Super Juniors type deal.
That's what I'm thinking. The best of the Super Juniors. Okay. I don't know much about it, but that's just the first thought that came to mind of Dolph in New Japan is he might do that, or obviously the G1. The G1's the popular New Japan excursion wrestlers like to do if they're not signed to New Japan, but that's where they play nice. Any names hurting RN off of this list? Any names like fuck, man?
No.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but none of these wrestlers currently involved in any major part of the week-to-week WWE television product.
The other half of them, like Mustafa and a couple other people, like they have asked for their releases previously and were denied. So like
Grizzly Young Veterans. I don't know if they got confirmed today.
I didn't see.
But obviously, they're a group that has been asking for their release, and it seems as though that's what's being played out. Of course, it's what I recall correctly is their contract is up in within the next week or month or so, and so I see some speculations that WWE might release them early so they can enact that no compete clause for them. But who knows? Yeah, I mean, it always bums me out to hear that people lose their job, and then you obviously, when someone's gone, you know, one of your first instinct is to kind of think about what you could have seen them involved in. It does kind of bum me out that Shelton Benjamin's gone, because we were sitting here, we never really believed it was going to happen, but we were just sitting here hoping somehow we would work our ways back to the Hurt Business. Mm-hmm. He did really, really well over there in that group. It actually bums me out that he got to celebrate 20 years in WWE, and they granted it's nice the company gave him a spot to do it. However, it was oddly relegated to WWE Main Event when he had his 20th year anniversary, and he got on the microphone and addressed it to the crowd and had this nice sympathetic moment. That was nice, but next to nobody saw it because a lot of people aren't even aware Main Event is even still a thing.
Right. Well, I guess for me is, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, the fact that he kept a job that fucking long there, and as a black man keeping the job that fucking long there, I mean, get that man his flowers, right? Run it up.
Didn't he? He was gone for a while though, right? He wasn't. Yeah. He's not like Dolph, who's quietly been employed this whole time. I believe Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, he left for.
He originally came back right before the Hurt Business.
Right. He went to New Japan and did some other shit too.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. Some of the names I was really confused on. I don't even know who Quincy Miller or Bryson Montana is. I'm not even aware. I'm assuming they're probably talent that's just been in WWE's Performance Center most of this time. Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer. It's something that we've seen coming. You know what I mean? It's usually I believe it takes place. Was it shortly after WrestleMania? Yeah. I think is when they do to do the cuts. So it is kind of it a little out of place timing wise as far as that goes.
I mean, however, but not really because they just did a merger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
well, and at least it's not such big stars like it was last time.
That is true. It is true. No offense to anybody that was released. Right. But yeah. Trying to think. Emma has got to hold some type of record for the most times fired in WWE. I swear to God, Emma has come and gone from WWE so many times over such a short span of time, it feels like. That's a character that I don't think... You know what's weird is I don't remember Emma ever being bigger than she was when she was the awkward dancer. Right. That might just be my ignorance because I haven't watched her. I know Tennille Dashwood did get quite a following, especially on Twitter is where I saw it the most, when she left WWE and had that badass Australian character with the aviator glasses and stuff. But when she came back, I don't know if we ever got a chance to see it. At least I know we didn't on the main roster.
I mean, yeah, it was a wasted signing and unnecessary signing, but because I can't even remember a match she had on NXT or anything. I literally can't think of a match.
Unfortunately, not. Timing was terrible too. Apparently, she was released shortly, only within an hour or two after posting a tweet out for
I've seen that.
an Australian show. It was such. Elimination Chamber from Perth, Australia. Yeah, it's terrible. I feel bad, but it is what it is. It's just part of the business. We've all come accustomed to it. I don't know if I'm necessarily outraged. RN, are you outraged?
No, because like you said, all of these people, nobody besides Mustafa has even really been on TV.
Mm-hmm. He looks like he really just seems like he wants to be a character. He just wants to have a good character role. He's also probably one of WWE's biggest what ifs.
Right.
Of course, because it looked like he was slated to win the Elimination Chamber, to get him a world title match. Of course, he received that concussion from Randy Orton, which in turn slotted Kofi Kingston, and we got Kofi Mania. Another time, it looked like he was about to win Money in the Bank. Of course, that was until Brock Lesnar intervened. I don't know if Ali was ever originally the plans, but he always seems like he was right on the cusp of doing something big in WWE, and just the trigger never got pulled on the guy. And it's a lot of stop goes with him throughout the years, and ultimately, just unfortunately, nothing of fruition ever came. I mean, even during the pandemic era, they started doing this pretty cool hacker gimmick over on SmackDown. And then, that was revealed to be him, and unfortunately they started something with him and didn't follow through. And then, of course, the ill-timed retribution, essentially WWE's take on fucking Antifa. And Ali, even then, you saw that he tried to do something character-wise with this story that was ultimately crap. But is just like he was always on the outside looking in WWE.
I'll be honest with you. I think his race had a lot to do with it. His race and his name. And like you said, even with the Antifa shit and everything, like it was just like. And the thing about it with him is like he had charisma. He was good on the mic. He's excellent in the ring. It was like you said, it's like they always just got gun shy, pulling the trigger on him being the number one guy, which to me, I think was a fucking mistake.
Even just being a main player.
Right.
Or just being a main player, like not necessarily being the guy that's going to win the belt, maybe challenge for the belt, but just be kind of in that circle.
You got to remember when he was at his hottest, when all that stuff was going on, who was the president?
Yeah. I mean, still at the end of the end, it looks to be that's who it is now too, as well. But Ali, it's unfortunate too, because as much as I love AEW. Ali, once again, really strikes me as a guy that wants to have a character, wants something creative for him to sink his teeth into. And I hate to say it, but AEW, that is kind of like one of their weaknesses, is their captivating creativity is kind of few and far between. So his odds probably wouldn't be best there.
He'll probably end up at Impact, I would imagine.
Yeah, you know what? That actually... Even though I don't watch the product, that does kind of feel, it does. It feels like that might be actually it right there for him.
I think it would be dope in New Japan too.
Yeah, they oftentimes can use the cruiserweight style a lot better. You know what I mean? A lot of smaller guys have pretty good success in New Japan, it seems. Which is why it translates over to AEW, and the average height in AEW is like 5'9".
Right.
But yeah, man. So it's a bummer. Back over to AEW for a bit. I want to talk about one of my favorite wrestlers, Jade Cargill, man. So about a little over a week ago, Jade posts something to Twitter along the lines of she's very happy and grateful for Tony Khan in AEW and doesn't picture herself working anywhere else. AEW is her home. And then fast forward a week, and all the reports are Jade's letting her contract expire. She drops the rematch with Chris Statlander on Rampage, and ultimately is removed from the roster page. And by all reports, expected to show up at WWE's Performance Center and have quite a substantial story waiting for her. It's not just a matter of showing up in an NXT audience one day and then working your way through the system. If all reports are to be believed, is WWE will have something major for the former AEW star lined up on the main roster. This, dude, what do you think, RN?
It's where she needs to be.
Yeah, man, right?
Like I know I'm the AEW hater, but not even with any of that. Like, she always felt bigger than this indie promotion. Like, she always felt bigger than life. She always felt like she was a star. Like, and she's made it known that she wants to do other things besides wrestling. So where do you need to go to do any of those things?
WWE is an awesome platform to develop wrestlers into mainstream pop culture.
Right. And then on top of that,
yeah,
Morris, like fucking representation that comes along with Endeavor and TKO and all that shit. And that's a real like agency to help push you into other things outside of wrestling. So like it's to me, it's a no fucking brainer. And I think she did the super bid on them just because she knew they wouldn't do it. So she could move on, honestly, because supposedly she asked for like a ridiculous amount of money. And that's why they ended up letting her go.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame her. She really is, like you said, has that larger than life presence.
Yeah.
She and this is coming from me. I love AEW. I absolutely. It's once again. I always go on record stating, Wednesday is my favorite night for pro wrestling. I look forward to AEW more than any other wrestling show. But I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes people just feel like they fit in other areas better, and so it's not a knock on AEW. Granted, in a perfect world, I'd love for her to stick with them and have all these compelling stories.
Right.
But she does feel like a person that can really, really benefit from WWE's machine. Like, yeah, man. Just all the experience that they bring, and then that platform to take that already huge presence that she has and potentially amplify it. She very well, within 1 or 2 years' time, be WWE's biggest female star. Like, she has that potential. And I don't care if you're the biggest star in the women's AEW's women roster. You're not gonna be able to outdo like WWE's presentation of their women's division. It's not always perfect, but they've come leaps and bounds. We said it. WWE spent probably over a decade poaching the best women's talent across the planet, and that's why when AEW started up, that was their weakest point, is just because the women talent pool was so shallow at that point because WWE swallowed up everybody.
Thank you, Triple H.
So, yeah. And so yeah, I think it makes all the sense in the world for her there.
Yeah.
And she will be a reason why I tune in to Raw or SmackDown. Like, I guarantee it. I have a lot of faith in what they'll do. It might not be perfect all the time, but she's an exciting person too. And then, not to mention, she is a wrestler that you and I and any wrestling fan who's been watching only for since 2019, we've got to see grow up in the ring. She literally had her first match on TV when she teamed with Cody Rhodes to take on
Shaq.
To take on Shaq and Red Velvet, of all people. Shaq, dude. I still feel bad for the Big Show, by the way. Paul White spent all those years getting in insane shape to have a match with Shaq, and they even and Shaq went to AEW before Big Show could, man. God damn. But
I just think that she's and she doesn't have to be super great in the ring. Like, WWE has proven that with many wrestlers, where as long as you're above average on the mic and decent in the ring, you can be a star.
Yeah, when WWE is on their game, they really know how to shine a spotlight on your strengths and hide the weaknesses.
Yep.
And
nobody's better at that than Triple H. Like, nobody.
Yeah, man. No, it's gonna be cool to see her there, man. I'm gonna love seeing it. I've already seen some. I fucking forget where the poster was, but somebody had already put out like a fantasy poster, and it showed Lashley, Street Profits, and then it had like Bianca and Jade.
That was one of the things I sent you I wanted to talk about.
Oh, you sent me that.
Yeah. About every time there's black wrestlers coming in, people try and put them all in one stable.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Kenny, for your thoughts. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, dude, that's a lot of black wrestlers.
That's every black wrestler in the fucking company.
Hey, look, he's got the blackest of all black wrestlers. He's got Cody Rhodes front and center. All RN, why
that's-
do we do that naturally? Why do we want to
Because
take
there's
black?
white dudes that don't know how to write for black people. Like, if they
Yeah.
don't think that black people have white friends. Look at us. Look at Adam. That's my
Yeah.
kid's fucking godfather, and he's literally Hitler white. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, that's what happens, like I said, when you don't know, when you have people writing for people that don't know the experiences that those people have went through. Like, we have white friends. We hang out with other white people. It's not just only niggas with niggas. Like do you think of a promotion? Think of a faction in WWE that's multicultural,
Multiracial.
Well, I guess technically Judgment Day.
Yeah, Judgment Day. But you're not. That's about it. Yeah. It used to be really
Bloodline,
bad.
all Samoans. Brawling Rulers, all motherfuckers from the UK.
LWO. I mean, but that's in the name though. That's in the name. They don't hide that one.
I know, but but still, like all Mexican niggas. Who's another one?
But no, we used to have this conversation. Damn, I'm gonna bring up the pandemic era a lot tonight. During the pandemic era, when they put all the Latinos in the same story role with each other, and the same thing with the bloodline. It was like there was just like the Latino corner of Monday Night Raw. It was just Latinos feuding with Latinos, and it was like this big circle going on. It had Andrade, it had Ray in there. I forget, but it. Yeah. Los Therios. Yeah, and I remember even me. I was like, this feels fucking weird, man. Like it's just, I was like, you don't see them mixing it up with anybody else. Like
and
at all.
AEW's the same way, except for Mogul Embassy. That's the only one where there's like a white guy and a couple niggas thrown in. But everything else is either Mexicans and all white people. Like there's literally no type of like race mixing at all in professional wrestling.
All right,
the last one was NWO.
That's true. NWO started out just like white bikers, though. Like
white bikers with Virgil being their butler.
Virgil. Oh fuck yeah, dude! I forgot about that shit. Oh man.
Yeah, it's like I mean, that's why I wanted to talk about because like it makes no fucking sense. Like I don't know. But
you think it's lazy, right? I don't
even necessarily think it's lazy. I think it's just lack of knowledge. Like it's ignorance. Like. They don't know how. The easiest way to write for a bunch of black dudes is just throw them all together.
And even then,
New Day.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody. Like there is no like.
That was the New Day's whole story. It was just three black wrestlers who they did not know what to do with them, and I think it was Xavier.
I saw them originally when they were doing like Xavier was like Malcolm X and Kofi and Big E were the wrestlers. Like I have videos of it and everything. And I was there when they first debuted. It was at a house show in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and then they quickly went to like the overly gospel.
Yeah, the choir and shit.
The choir shit for a couple weeks until they finally got that heel turn in, and then they just like, oh, you guys are entertaining without the shtick. Okay, just do your thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just a lack of cultural. It's a lack of different cultures in the writing. You can tell it's a bunch of young white dudes that ain't never been around any people of color. So like they write what they've seen and what they know from TV and music and entertainment. Like that's why, come on, hit row fucking rappers. Like get the fuck out. None of them niggas can rap.
That's like the laziest writing there was.
Swerve actually was
by
a
the
rapper,
way,
and he's a decent rapper. But I mean,
I was gonna say, wait, but then you could blame that on like Swerve.
I know,
they
but like I said, but once Swerve's
to
gone, what does Hit Row do? None of them niggas can rap or nothing, bro. Like they're trash.
Yeah, yeah, it's really weird.
That's another thing. Make them all rappers. Make the group of black people together, rappers and hip hop dudes, and they get their clothes from City Trend.
Hey, in AEW's defense, in WWE's defense, Swerve did go on Twitter and start hitting people up to download his shit on Spotify.
What'd you say? I might drop my headset. Sorry.
I said in WWE and AEW's defense, Swerve was running around on Twitter, hopping in everyone's DMs, asking for their streams on Spotify. As I remember that was like one of the first times we ever interacted. Like a wrestler came to me, but yeah, it was just Swerve like trying to boost his Spotify list because I remember I DM'd him. I was like, oh, of course, man. By the way, can I get like 5 minutes with you or something like that?
Right.
And then he just gave me the whole. You got to talk to. Oh wait, no, that wasn't Swerve. My bad. That was Chris Bay. Never mind. That was Chris Bay because it was with Impact. Never mind. Fuck that. Now I'm racist. Look at that.
I mean, in your defense, there's 2 black dudes with dreads that rap, so.
Yeah. Thank you for seeing the similarities between them. Because
all black people don't look alike, Kyle. Though, just remember that.
That's up for debate, already.
No, but like I said, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like they got a multicultural fucking announce team. They got, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is like everything around the wrestlers is fucking like diverse and like show some sort of progress, except the actual motherfuckers in the ring. They're like, black locker rooms over there, nigga, beat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and I will continue to call AEW all everything white, and I'm willing to bet money that Swerve does not.
There's hope. There's hope. Granted, it's kind of insulting, but Prince Nana is getting over fucking huge right now, and he's in turn is making like whatever segment has Swerve on it, like fucking can't miss now. And I'm sorry, man.
Shucking and jiving.
I know, man. I was gonna ask you.
I don't mind Prince Nana because like it's clearly a comedy act. You know what I'm saying? But he's actually funny in the ring and on Twitter and shit. Like I love his tweets and shit. But
you giving him a pass on this? Because he is playing it up, man. Because
he's also
I watch on so much wrestling YouTube is white dudes doing the Prince Nana dance now. So fucking.
But that's the thing too. And also, he's been doing it for so fucking long. Like this has been his shtick for like 10 or 15 years. Like it ain't like he didn't just like pull this out of his ass. Like he's been doing this. Like he's a really great old school manager. He just happens to be a black dude with a fucking whatever the thing is on his head and shit. Like.
Well, he has made me come around tenfold to Swerve Strickland. Yes. Like now I'm excited. Now I'm excited to watch whatever segment Swerve gets in. I'm hoping dude becomes world champ one day.
It's not gonna happen. He's not even gonna beat fucking Hangman, bro. All white everything. He's not winning. I'm willing to put money on.
Fucking no, dude.
He's lost the dart.
I don't think he's going to either.
No, he's not.
I don't, man.
That's what pisses me
reality.
Off about it.
What's going on, Retro? Yeah, pour one out for Dolph. I know. Hey, Dolph's a fun guy though, and RN earlier on stated out there is a possibility that WWE is going to rehire him. It's Alex. Oh, it's Alex. Okay, it's Alex from Perch on the Top Rope.
What's up, bro? No, like I said, I just wish I could be. I wish I wasn't always the race guy, but it's always right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just is. Like,
yeah, man.
No black people in the fucking main events. No black people in fucking the tag division. No black people in the fucking international division. Like there's none. It's Swerve. Keith Lee ain't wrestled in fucking 3 weeks.
What the fuck is Anthony Bowens? He's black, ain't he?
Yeah, he's black, but he's gay, so he get that trumps it. That's why he's getting it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. I'm not even trying to be funny when I say that. Like that's. I mean, they were smart to do that, to push an openly gay wrestler. Like, and I think the Sonny Kiss thing. I think he was too far. You know what I'm saying? Like Anthony Bowens is safe gay, and he's black on top of it, so they're getting a double whammy out of it.
Well, he didn't. This is gonna sound bad because in one breath I'm gonna sound like you're gonna know where I'm coming from, but in another breath it's just sounding like a white guy like saying like, well, you just act like a normal person. No, but his character wasn't about being gay. Like with Anthony Bowens, that was his thing. It was. I always commended AEW, not that they hit it. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like the segment where Anthony. Yeah, like that shit. It was just it's cringy when pro wrestling when they make that's the basis of your character. Right.
And that was the thing too. Like I think how I got over on you white dudes in the audience was the motherfuckers been wearing pink and rainbow shit the entire time, and like they never really. It was like a tongue-in-cheek, like wink at it, like no one ever brought it up until recently. Like even though most of us already knew, but like it was they were literally showing you. And
anybody on Twitter pretty much knew, but
right,
yeah. Because there was if all you did was just tune in and watch Dynamite and never like was on social media, there was nothing in the presentation that was overtly
wrestlers wear pink and
about
shit
his sexuality.
or metrosexual looking as fuck, even though they're beating the shit out of each other. Long hair, oiled up in underwear. You know what I'm saying? Like it was hidden in plain sight. And like I said, that's why I think it was different with him than it was with Sonny Kiss.
Yeah, with Sonny Kiss, it was Sonny Kiss wore it right out there on the open, and not that that's wrong, but like you immediately as the viewer are presented with that, and you have to accept it. And on top of that, it's like you mentally have to get past it every time you watch Sonny Kiss, which is it's not like a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but let's be honest, it's a majority white male, 19 to whatever it is, 44. Like they're not okay with that, and especially with all the Trump stuff and the canceling and shit and everything. Like it wasn't a good look for your audience. And like I can't necessarily say because it's a business, I know it's fucked up, and like I love when you're being your truthful self, but like as a business, who you're pointing it to, like I knew that Anthony Bowen would get over and be okay more than Sonny Kiss. That's why that shit lasted during quarantine when everybody was acting and pretending like they were inclusive and gave a fuck about shit. And as soon as that shit was over, Sonny Kiss was no longer on TV.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but you are right. And you know, right. Yeah, no, it is kind of like this thing. It's like where you unfortunately you have to find that hook, like you said with Anthony Bowens. He got you to care about him before any of that was made public. Right. I will say one thing. It was actually pretty awesome to and fascinating that when they did that silly angle with the chick from QTV. Was saying that he was into her,
right?
And then he announced on television for the first time that he's gay. That you had a pro wrestling audience chanting he is gay, and it's not insulting. Like it was in support. Like it's like. Man, pro wrestling fans have never been, obviously known for being the most welcoming group. You know what I mean? Like they're known primarily, especially if you think back to the '90s, they're known as essentially just like kind of like you said, a bunch of like homophobes and maybe bigots and shit like that. And so yeah, it's just weird to hear like an entire wrestling audience chanting.
And
he is gay.
His story is kind of what makes me so upset about how AEW and Tony Khan, because you could tell he has to have a personal relationship with them, and it was layered, it was context, it was massage, like it was good storytelling, like you said. It hit it in plain sight, so he was ready to reveal it, and we had come to love him so much we didn't even see the signs that were right there. Motherfucker coming to the ring with a bow tie on. They've been wearing pink and rainbows.
Yeah,
scissor me, you know what I'm saying? Like they literally were. It was like on the what is it, the interview when Eminem's like, man, I was leaving breadcrumbs all the time. I'm surprised you guys never.
A gay trail of breadcrumbs or something like that. He
was, and like you said, but they grew to love that claim so much, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because his character had depth. I think a lot of people who are maybe not the most supportive, but not outright hateful.
Right.
Is you hear, and it's a lot of like crusty old dudes. You hear them say essentially like to a lesser degree, like that's your personality, like you're gay, like that is all you are, and if that is all your character is or all your personality is, then it's gonna be hard for like a straight guy to find a way to relate and connect with you, because that's all you have. That's all you have going personality-wise. So with Anthony Bowens, they did the opposite. They developed, you got to, like you just stated, like you got to know this person, and then by the time he's like, if you're just discovering on TV saying I'm gay, it's like, okay, cool, you're gay, but you're also all these other badass things that we like. You know what I mean? So even though I have nothing to talk about there, I love all these other things about you. Fucking love seeing you on TV.
And it was like you said,
it was very well done.
Yeah, and it's like you said, like you can't, like you have to know your audience, you have to know who's there, and you can't throw it. and not just white. This is not just like a black or white thing. This is all straight males, 18 to 40. You know what I'm saying? It's like hard right white dudes, hard left black dudes. Like you can't throw it in their face and make them fucking question themselves and feel uncomfortable about it. And that's just the facts. Like you don't. People want to act like that's not true, but that is. And they did it perfectly with Anthony Bowens to the point, like you said, the whole fucking 10,000 people were chanting, he's gay, and it's not a fucking insult.
Yeah, because
that was perfect storytelling by AEW.
Yeah, and very supported by the audience. It was a good moment, man. It was a pretty cool moment. Yeah, I love it too because my Jess. It's funny is that was when she essentially like when she learned. Was around that segment or not too long afterwards. She was like, "Did you know that guy from the Acclaim?" I was like, "Oh yeah, like anybody that lives on the internet at least knows that." That's funny as shit, man. Fuck, dude. Okay, I'm kind of like off track now. We went down that shit. Now, with this being said, going back to Jade Cargill because that's what kind of kicked all this off. How high up do you think she debuts in WWE?
I think she goes to NXT.
You think? Okay, so you think? Because I'm on like the opposite side of the camp. I'm kind of saying she debuts like an established star main eventer right away.
I don't think so. Because we already know she's green, and Triple H does not put people in positions where they're not going to succeed. So I think she'll do a short stint in NXT, maybe a couple months, maybe to the end of the year. And I don't think she'll be there long, but I think she's definitely going to do a little round in NXT. I mean, because shit, they're sending their established guys down to NXT now, so that's why I think she'll definitely probably start out there for a few months before they pull her up.
I can see that. So you believe she goes to NXT to cut her teeth and just continue to develop and get seasoned
and to get learn the
roster.
WWE way. And it's easier to do that on NXT because now people are starting to understand and comprehend that this is developmental. So people aren't taking it as serious as they used to the black and gold. And I think that's the perfect way to debut her and to kind of give her kind of like some bubble wrap as she's like getting to the WWE mode of things before they put the rocket on her back.
See, I don't know. I'm in the opposite side of the camp. I'm missing.
Let's go.
Like,
sorry, John scored.
All right, I got you. I haven't watched a fucking single football game this season so far. I've really fallen off football these last couple of years, man. Working Sundays fucking kills me.
Yeah, retail.
Yeah, I miss all the games. I miss when there's surprise debuts. Like, who's that? Like this person comes through, debuts on the main roster, is instantly projected into the main event as this and presented as this big star that people are surprised by, like that just come in. I'm trying to think of the last person that happened. Now,
Cody,
granted,
to
it's
a degree.
It's a little bit. Cody comes to mind, but I'm trying to think of somebody who wasn't already in WWE, like got their name.
And that's
here.
what I'm trying to tell you. There hasn't been any of that. They've always signed guys and they go to NXT.
AJ Styles might be the last one.
Yeah.
Came in from Impact straight to the Royal Rumble, went right into a feud with Chris Jericho at the top of the card, and has danced around the main event scene his entire tenure.
I know, but the two guys you're talking about are guys that were established stars, and were fucking Cody's almost 15, 20 years in, and he already had a stint with WWE, and AJ was fucking 20 years into the business too, and had been all around the world. Like, besides those two, everyone's gone through NXT. Everyone.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens.
No, I know what
Samoa
you mean.
Joe, Shinsuke, and Shinsuke was in fucking Wrestle Kingdom main events. He was at one point. He had made the Intercontinental. He had made the Intercontinental title bigger
He was
than the
selling
World
out the
title.
Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
He was selling out the Tokyo Dome and then working the Performance Center.
Yeah, and like I said, he literally
or,
had propped up the Intercontinental title over there higher than the world title. Like the Intercontinental title main event at fucking Wrestle Kingdom before. So you know what I'm saying, like
true.
that, and also on top of that, like the fact that we do know she's not that she's kind of green in the ring. So like that's if we knew she was like throwing out banker matches and she already had that star presence that she had, then I would agree with you. But the fact that it's not a secret, like everyone knows she could improve in the ring, that's why I think she's going to go to NXT.
Yeah. No, I mean that does seem like the most obvious route that she would take. Just yeah, I mean you said or was it Alex? He said NXT for a few months, debuts a Royal Rumble. You think? I don't think that I don't think she stays in NXT.
No.
Obviously, we don't know anything until like she tells us. But I do know the majority of the latest round of rumors that I've heard online, which I'll take a grain of salt with this, is that WWE is paying quite the lump sum for her, and essentially they're going to want to return. And that's what leads people to believe that she goes straight to main roster.
Right.
Is the amount of money that they're investing in her to have, putting her on their least watch weekly television show might not be the best use of their money initially. I could see where obviously the long game, like, well, we just want to make sure that she's ready to.
That's my thing too.
Ball.
Like if you're gonna put that much, invest that much in it, like why take the chance? Send her down there to get polished up, learn the WWE way. And make sure that her debut is what it needs to be at that time.
I say she debuts and instantly just beats the fuck out of Nia Jax, like because she debuts. Nia Jax recently returned, and to what the majority of people, I guess, like just are not happy with it. I don't know if I would go as far as to say outrage, although I'm not on Twitter as much as I used to be. But from what I gather,
it was outrage.
Yeah, okay. So you take that disdain for Nia Jax, and essentially, pretty much, it's kind of universal. Anybody that I've heard talk about Cargill is a fan of Cargill. I hear very, very little open criticism for her. And so you just throw her in WWE.
Performance. It's nothing about her character, her look, or anything.
So she debuts, she squashes Nia Jax and instantly becomes the biggest baby face in WWE's women's division. I guess that's my idea. There's probably a million better ones, but
I don't hate it. I just can't wait to see that entrance, her flexing with the fucking lights and smoke and the camera going around her and shit. Yeah, actual real fucking pyro, not some two dudes holding sparklers down on the stage. Like, it's gonna be fucking epic. Like, it doesn't matter when it is. Like, she's gonna be fucking. I hate to say it, like, she might eclipse Bianca and all of them. Honestly,
I think she has. I think she has the potential to.
I do
because
too.
I think Bianca is, for one. This is me critiquing somebody that's like got over if this was a video game, I put Bianca 90 plus in power ranking in the video game. So I'm not saying Bianca's got any glaring holes.
Right.
Bianca's like an A plus, like an A to A plus athleticism. She's solid on the mic. But if there's one area that maybe she lacks is, or she might be a B minus or a C plus, it is just that presence. Yeah. And that, I feel like that is Jade's strength. She feels like a potential movie star walking out there.
And I think that loss to Becky, I think, kind of fucking dimmed Bianca's presence. Because I think she had that too until she lost to Becky in fucking 26 seconds. Like, I think that was detrimental to her career. And I still think that it was the dumbest fucking move. And I thought that it was beneath them to do that to Bianca after what she had been through and carried through with the pandemic and all that shit and everything. But I don't know that there's much that they could do to stop. Like, once they get going with her and get their hands on her and mold her, I think the sky's the fucking limit. Like, it,
yeah,
like, for real. I mean, because like you said, I don't know anyone that has anything. I don't know anyone that doesn't say that she could be a huge star. Like, yes, people have critiques on her mic work, her in-ring work is improving, but even with that, like, yeah, she needs work in the ring, but she actually went out and tried to get it. She worked with Daniel Bryan. She worked with CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? So like, all those things, like, even though it's kind of saying it's a negative, but it's throwing the positive on too, because you know she's trying to get better at it. And that's the type of shit you want to hear about a person that you think the company's gonna put everything behind. You know that it's not gonna go to their fucking head. You know that they're gonna work for it and appreciate it and do things to make it go further. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I think she's built to last. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm excited to see what they do. Like in Triple H, he's that dude. Like he makes that happen. Like all these people we're talking about, Triple H is the one that got them going. Triple H is the one that made them who they are for the most part. Like people don't even realize Bianca was a heel 90% of the time when she was in NXT.
I remember. That was my first introduction to her. Was a couple
she was
NXT matches,
but she got over just being herself and with the outfits and shit and everything. And people started. She was like, God damn, this girl is actually good, which is perfect hunter shit.
Yeah, because I was one of those people that was like, when I first saw her, I was like, I don't quite get it. You know what I mean?
She's black. Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. And no, and then like over time, I was like, fuck, dude, I fell in love with Bianca Belair. Yeah. She's my wife's. She's Jess's favorite wrestler, female wrestler.
My girlfriend too.
On W. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool to hear that. Also, like, if another thing too to keep going on this Jade fucking hype train here is that over the years that she was in AEW, you never heard reports of her having an ego, her having heat backstage or rubbing other people the wrong way, because arguably she's an outsider. You know what I mean? She is. Yeah. She really is AEW's biggest claim to a homegrown star. She got her and Wardlow both got their starts and learned in AEW.
And that's what I was talking about, because you heard her like getting training with Daniel Bryan, sitting under CM Punk's learning tree and helping her with mic stuff and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are things you want to hear from your quarterback or your star player, that they're the first one in, last one out, that they're always looking at tape, they're a gym rat, blah, blah, blah. When you hear shit like that about a woman that everyone already knows, like literally she can just show up and be that person, be that bitch, like she says, but the fact that she's working on her craft to be better, that's the shit you want for your star player. And for, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, we haven't heard any ego shit, anything bad. Like everything that comes out is she's dope, she's working on her craft, she's trying to be better. And that's a great thing going in to probably the biggest stage in the fucking world when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah, I will say it's that's why it's sad. It is slightly sad, especially if you're a fan of AEW, to realize that, I mean, at the end of the day, no one really seems like they were too big at fault. You know, you can nitpick AEW's how they handled and how they continue to handle the women's division. But I mean, with Jade Cargill, it does feel like for the most part they were trying to develop her and keep her going with that undefeated streak, and it really does feel like AEW did put their best foot forward with her. It's just even if I think, and I really believe that even if AEW's women division was like top notch, right, and there was a bunch of room, I still think Jade goes to WWE just because some people just seem to fit better in certain roles, and she just. I don't think there was a scenario where AEW kept her outside of just paying her an astronomical amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, that was it. There's no other way. Like, from the moment she debuted, we all, like you said, even you're the AEW stan. You even knew she's WWE bound from literally the moment that bitch stepped on stage and held them fucking guns up, like it was over. Yeah. Like we all knew.
That's how people literally described her. She was like, she seems like a top WWE star in AEW.
Yep.
Yeah. There's just something about it, man. There's something about it. That archetype. It's gonna be cool, man. I'm excited. I hope I'm gonna tune into whatever. I just hope it's not NXT. I hope I don't have to watch NXT to see what Jade's fucking doing. I want her to just debut at the Rumble and start squashing motherfuckers right away. That's what I want to see. Would be dope, man. What do we have coming up for like WWE events? Dude, I'm not gonna lie. You and I both we've talked off air a couple times, and we have just had the busiest fucking time these last couple weeks.
I haven't watched Raw the last 2 weeks, honestly.
Really? Yeah. I still watch.
I just haven't had the time.
I just break it into segments. Yeah. Let's see. What's the next WWE pay per view? Right? Because that's what's. Although actually, we just had. Did you catch AEW last night?
No, I don't think I did. I caught like the last hour. I caught like 9 or 10. I saw Phoenix.
So they had a. You saw Phoenix dump Moxley on his head?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Grand Slam. It took place last night. It was a lot of fun, man. It was I wouldn't say anything like overly crazy happened on the show, but a lot of really good stuff. And then like the everything Eddie Kingston and Claudio was just fantastic, man.
I need to go back
AEW did a really good job building that feud between them and telling that story for the payoff. Right. And that was such a feel good moment to watch Eddie win. Moxley, yeah, dude, Mox got dumped on his head. He had a really good match with Ray Phoenix, and a lot of people talk about this. Well, man, I thought he broke his neck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy to hear. If you haven't heard already, it is believed that he suffered a concussion.
Yeah.
So, him and Ray Phoenix are having a match, and Ray does what I've always referred to as the Rikishi driver, where he drapes the guy over his shoulder like head first in front of him, and then drops down onto his ass and dumps him on his head in like a pile driver, tombstone almost like way. And yeah, Mox is eating the pin. And see, you guys watched it before me, but I didn't ruin it for myself. The ref counts to 2, and when he comes down to 3, he stops. And you instantly know as a fan, like, oh, something happened. What's going on?
Yeah.
You see Mox, because the camera didn't pull away, Mox tells the ref to fucking count. And there's this brief hesitation. So Ray Phoenix picks him up again, dumps him on his head a second time, and then fucking wins and is your new international champion, which is awesome.
I mean, it's awesome, but I hope this isn't the fucking new hot potato title.
Well, it's pretty much all but confirmed. It was called on the fly by Moxley. I do not believe that was the original plan. I think Moxley got dumped on his head, thought he was seriously injured, and just said, "Hey, count it," because I don't know what's
Right.
He didn't know what had happened, but other than something major happened. And so I believe it was called on the fly.
3 champions in 3 weeks. I don't know. It's scary to me.
Yeah. But this is a little different. This is different. They plan on hot potatoing the TNT title. I promise.
They haven't though.
I would bet my house that last night those guys walked into that match and with Moxley supposed to be the winner, and things changed. I don't know. Do you think Ray gets a run with it, or do you think Moxley heals up from this concussion and just gets the belt back?
He gets the belt back, unless Ray just like goes on a fucking tear like Orange did. But I don't. I mean, I think that they wanted him to have it for a while. Yeah,
they probably also want Mox to be up there, presented up there, like on the same level as MJF. As a
especially
main
since
guy
he got
with
number
a belt.
2 in the 2 or 3 in the fucking PWI too.
Yeah, I think this is like a situation. Do you remember that time when Kevin Owens and AJ Styles were feuding over the U.S. title? It was on a pay-per-view, and I forget who. One of them, obviously, one was champ, the other one was challenging. During the match, the the champ was inadvertently pinned, and WWE has that that rule that refs are to call it like a shoot. So even if they know what the outcome is, if the dude doesn't kick out, you count the 3. Which I think that you go with that rule.
Yeah,
because you put on so many shows every week, you can correct that mistake later on down the road. You just fucking count it, dude. Yeah, so what they ended up doing to rectify that mistake was the following SmackDown. They just put the belt back on whoever originally was champ. Yeah. I think they're going to do the same thing with Mox. I think they'll probably just put it right back on Mox.
Yeah, I think they planned on him to have a long run.
Yeah, assuming he's not too injured, of course.
Right.
You never know with concussions.
I think that they planned a Gunther run for him, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah, that was the only reason why else would they let him beat Orange after Orange went that fucking long and that many defenses? Like, I think that they had some plans for him.
Yeah, and also it helps that you have the Moxley is, I would say, mostly considered heel.
Yeah.
Although he's kind of just always been like the in-betweener, and sometimes leans. I think he's not as big of a heel ever since he lost the Blood and Guts match. I think that was him.
Even before then, I think just the status of who they are there and from WWE and just what they are. Like, I think they've always been tweeners, like on that edge, like, and could go either way.
Yeah, but when they were feuding with the Elite, though, they were obviously playing up the heel aspect because they were trying to fucking murder you with like screwdrivers and shit. Like they were still getting the majority of the cheers, though. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's cool shit, though. It's kind of cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they've always been tweeners. Like, and I think that's how both of them like it. Him and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it's hard to book a ruthless badass as a heel. Because ruthless badasses are fun to watch regardless. You know what I mean?
You want to see them bleed. You want to see if they're going to fucking DDT a dude through the stage or a table or shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's why I say they're always tweener, because they do heel shit, but it's cool shit, so people like it. So they get cheered. It doesn't matter. Like, so.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Because even Daniel Bryan's style, it's so different, even though it's literally technical and submissions and shit, but it's so different than normal wrestling. Like, it's the same thing. Like, he's stomping people's fucking face out and choking the shit out of him, and like literally looks like he's trying to kill somebody when he like grabs their hands and just stomps their fucking head. But because it's so different than what normally we see, even though it's literally just like basic like martial arts, you know what I'm saying, MMA type shit, people still cheered, even though he's literally fucking elbowing dudes so they fucking pass out, grabbing a dude's hand and just kicking his fucking face, like. But it's different, so you know what I'm saying. To me, that's why I love the concept of the group. But I think sometimes they got away from it, especially with the Elite storyline. Yeah, like, I think they got away from it too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the shit is about. It's about fighting and trying to win championships. So you know what I'm saying. So like, I'm glad they kind of got back to it. Like, and I just don't think Claudio goes with them at all. I think I never have. Like, nothing about him like goes with what they do or what they're about.
I think what he does is I think he brings the perceived legitimacy of like, this dude will fuck you up, because that's kind of like what everybody except Wheeler Yuta, and even Wheeler to a degree, is they all seem like wrestlers that want to be passed off as legitimate badasses.
No, and I get that. I'm not saying that that's not true, but I'm saying like Claudio style, the suits and shit. He's fucking sophisticated. He speaks 25 fucking languages. Like, he does not mix with them. Like, they're down and dirty and like. That's what I'm saying. Is
they meet at the violence, at the intersection of violence. You know what I mean? They take, obviously Moxley and fucking Daniel Bryan are kind of traveling along the same roads, and you know, you got fucking Claudio over here, but they meet at the intersection.
I get what that's what it's supposed to be. What I'm saying, on the surface of what the group is, I never thought he fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Kingston fit more.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those type of dudes. Like, I think he fit more with them than Claudio ever did.
Well, I think it's like, maybe it's just me trying to read too much into this, but I think it's that Bryan and Moxley are pretty close character-wise, and Claudio and Wheeler Yuta are supposed to be like close, and it's almost like it's the two pairs.
See, I look at it different. I look at it as Yuta was fucking Mox's boy, and Claudio has always been there with Daniel Bryan from Ring of Honor on up.
Yeah, it's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? Like that.
Like I said, I'm probably reading too much into it. I just know on camera you do see Claudio and Wheeler Yuta interacting more. I mean, you do see
they're
Moxley
more like the
and Claudio together.
Yeah, they're more
Exactly.
like the wrestlers, and then Mox and Bryan are more like the fighters. But even Yuta, like Yuta has that like gym like jockey feel like that Bryan and fucking Mox have. Like I said, Claudio's walking around in fucking tailored suits and shit, and fucking, like I said, he speaks different languages. Shit. Like he just doesn't give me that like gritty, grimy. We got a training camp. You know what I'm saying? Like I just never got that vibe from him as a part of this group. Like him as Ring of Honor champion.
He's the Swiss Superman. You know what I mean? Is
right. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit just doesn't like it didn't to me. It didn't mesh well. Still doesn't mesh well, but that's their boy. So like I ain't mad at it. Bring your boy with you.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather see Claudio with them than away from them because I don't think Claudio would have shit to do without them.
I wish Chris Hero would fucking come back. I wish he wasn't fucking sick.
Yeah.
He's got that thyroid issue. That's what made him blow up and shit and made him get so fat.
Yeah, he was he was a hoss.
Yeah.
He's a very hoss-like guy.
Him and Claudio together back in the day, the Kings of Wrestling. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I heard the stories.
Yeah, they used to fuck people up, bruh. Claudio would toss him in the air, and then fucking Chris Hero would just hit him with the fucking elbow and shit on their way down. Like, they used to fucking annihilate people, and they were twice the size of everybody in Ring of Honor because back then everybody was 5'5" to 5'7". So, yeah, it was fucking nasty.
Tino, hey, what's up, Tino?
What up?
He
Tino?
says we were talking about the releases earlier, and you're right. That was kind of the one thing that we touched on is none of them were really involved in anything too major on the week-to-week television product.
Ali was.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer hearing him leave, but
Ali was trying to get the North American title. I forgot about that. He's been in and out of that
dude,
the whole time.
They had promotional promo work for No Mercy. Him facing off against Dominic Mysterio. They actually have No Mercy promotional material with him on it. And so it is weird timing, but that's never stopped WWE before either. Look at it. It's like it's like Aleister Black, because he was doing he had languished on the main roster, and then they did the Dark Father stuff with Aleister Black, right? They did all the Dark Father segments, which were really fucking good. And they did those for weeks on end. Well, no, look, he showed up. I don't know, this is gonna pop up on a trivia. I swear to God, he showed up one time. The lights went out. They came on. He showed up. He delivered Big E of all people a black mass, and then he was gone. And he was in AEW like 3 weeks later. Yeah, WWE doesn't know.
They
don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck what you're doing. It wouldn't shock me if they released a guy while he was champ, because they did. Because they dropped Bronson Reed like a week after he lost the NXT title. Like they almost dropped him while he was champ. Of course, he's back now, but still, it wouldn't shock me. Like, would you be shocked if current WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Chelsea Green, if she got dropped, it would be like, it wouldn't shock me.
No,
not at all. I feel fucking terrible for her. She's fought forever to get back in the company. It wouldn't shock me though.
God damn it, make a fucking tackle.
How's obviously we're recording the Stern the Giants game this week. What's the score?
20-12.
20-12. Who's
49ers.
49ers.
Yep.
Is Garoppolo still the QB?
Nah, he plays for the Raiders now.
He plays for the Raiders. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's QBing up the 49ers now?
This kid named Brock Purdy. He was like literally Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft a couple years ago, and he started the last like 4 or 5 games for them went undefeated. Then he got hurt in the NFC Championship game. This is second game back for him, I think.
Okay. Neat. All right, man. Well, I think that's going to cut it for us this week. We're happy to be back. We should be back to our regular recording time, hopefully, next week on Tuesday. I wish you guys could just hear the stupid text messages and calls me and Arn have had because it's not like we planned on taking this hiatus.
No.
It's just every time that we've planned to record, it's been something. I was sick 2 weeks in a row. Literally twice.
The first time we had to record
like a fucking joke.
What was it? No, it was Friday afternoon, I think we recorded the last show.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so. And I was sick the next day. Yeah. I was like, this is like a fucking joke. And then we would try to reschedule and something would come up. It's crazy. But we should be back next Tuesday.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, Tuesday, 9:30 p.m., of course, Eastern Time, twitch.tv/Smacked Raw. And then, of course, over on YouTube, youtube.com/Smacked Raw Podcast. And then, of course, all the audio platforms everywhere. RN, you still doing the kennel thing? You got some fur babies coming up? What's going on, man?
Yes, sir. We got 3 litters coming that should have some fluffies in it. And I have a pocket bully litter coming as well. So we're going to be pretty fucking busy.
Yeah. That's
4
crazy,
litters
man.
within a couple weeks of each other.
And they stay with your brother, right? Your brother's
well,
the
I
one
got the bully will be with me. It's my dog, my personal dog, and then the 3 Frenchie litters, will be with my brother.
Goodness gracious, man. Yeah, hit up Route 4 Kennel on Facebook if you're looking to go ahead and get you a dog, of course. Before we go, we always take a moment to acknowledge people who struggle with mental health issues and addiction. Me and RN, of course, in a constant state of recovery going through that. And we've learned over time it's a terrible thing that can cripple you when you're dealing with it by yourself. That is why it's best if you are going through these tough times, please reach out to talk to those around you. If you're a listener of ours, reach out, talk to us. We've always encouraged it's better to do this together than by yourself.
And I am
speaking of which,
up,
RN, I was about to say,
a year. The 29th
September, right?
Yep.
Yeah, September 29th?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. I fucking totally forgot. I wrote that shit down too. It's in my notes. I put it in my notes. It's buried in my notes somewhere. However, we'll have a show by then. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll have a show before then. Cool beans. I'm hitting Tuesday. I hit 600 days.
Hell yeah.
600 days. Yeah, man. Now I'm not gonna lie though. I'm like way overdoing it. Coffee though. So I gotta. It's like I put the bottle down and I pick up the fork. I'm just terrible, man. I can't ever just not have like at least one crutch. But yeah, man. Thank y'all for joining us. Until next time, y'all have a good one.
See y'all next week.
Yes, sir.